Well, I want to go over this little video to tell you about what could possibly go wrong when it says USB device not working, memory card not reading, device not working, device not recognized, that kind of problem. I know there's a lot of different things out on YouTube that you can look at, that there's other things you could do sometimes in the actual system settings that you might need to do, or with the USB hub, where maybe you want to delete the device in in the software itself, and then see if it's re-recognized. I'm not going to go over that type of stuff because that's already on the internet. What I'm going to go over is actually a lot of times a device will not recognize because of some dirt. Now, I know that sounds simple and you might think, oh, I cleaned it and then maybe it works, and well, I know you can clean it with electromotive cleaner, okay? Now, what I found is, yeah, that stuff's okay, and sometimes you want to take a little emery and try to clean something. It could even be the damn battery, or something like that. That could be a problem where it's not making good contact, or sometimes the battery on your cell phone, if you got a battery that you could change in your cell phone or a battery in your device, sometimes even the battery isn't bad. It's the fact that the contacts aren't making that good a contact, and it doesn't charge up right, or it doesn't get the full power out of the juice out of the battery while the device is being used. Now, this old camera here, man, I use this damn thing a lot. Actually, I don't know, it's just got some pretty good, decent quality video for what it is. And I thought it was broke, actually, and some of these devices, actually, memory cards, the little slip-in memory cards, USD devices, other devices, I always thought sometimes they were broke, and they weren't. And I'm smart enough to realize they could be dirt, and sometimes I'd spray electromotive cleaner inside where, say, this plugs into, the USB port, or where the SIM card goes into. Well, and the thing is, you really can't clean in there all the way, even when you're using this electromotive cleaner. And you can clean the surface area with some like 600 sandpaper or something, that's fine. But what I found is using something like WD-40, or even this is Wally World's Super Tech lubricant. It's a cleaner and a lubricant. So sometimes, and this is why sometimes a device may work on one computer and not work on another computer. But then sometimes, even when they don't work on several computers, the damn device is actually good. And it's dirt. It's minute amounts of dirt. So I found, like, if you spray this into this, and I usually spray it on an angle, like I don't spray it directly down in here, I spray it on an angle, going like that, right? And then you plug it in and out the device a bunch of times, and what's happening in there is you're getting off, it's like a cleaner lubricant that's on here with the WD-40 or CRC 556 or this Super Tech cleaner lubricant. And then it cleans out where the device is being plugged into. Now, I found out, the problem with this camera, USB device not recognized, was actually where this was plugged into was slightly dirty. You really can't get in there and clean it, even with electronic cleaner. And I found that even when you clean something perfectly clean, and it looks like, say, these contacts are perfectly shiny, or say it's like on a, the flat memory card, whatever the hell you call those SD cards, and they're perfectly shiny, and you go over it with you clean it off even further with a Q-tip, with some of this stuff on a Q-tip. I found that when you put a light coat of this, maybe you just put some on your finger or on a Q-tip, and you rub it over that SD card where the contact points are, it works. It usually works. It'll recognize faster. Like, in other words, you plug it into the computer or whatever, it'll just bam, it'll freaking recognize it much quicker. It seems, what I think is going on there, because I was thinking, why is that? Because it looks like I got it perfectly clean with this, and I'm thinking, what is this? This stuff is not electrical conductive, really. What's going on, I think, is that it's cleaning areas inside where you really can't clean in there very well. So when you push the card in and out, the lubricant and cleaner lubricant is like wearing off even the slightest amount of dirt, corrosion, or whatever that's inside the device itself. And then all of a sudden, you'll see the device will recognize, the SIM card or the computer will recognize the device, or your computer recognize the USB or whatever the hell it is. Seems like it works every time. I imagine I probably threw away a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have thrown away. Because I didn't realize. Because I thought it was broken. I was smart enough. Yeah, let's try cleaning it. But I found out the best way is to get some of this on here. WD-40, CRC 556, the Super Tech Cleaner Lubricant. Get some of this on here and then plug the device in several times, and it cleans off on the inside. Even though it looks like, I would sometimes spray this stuff on the inside where this is plugged into, this electronic cleaner, then blow it out with air. It still wouldn't work. Even when I got the stuff where it looked like it was perfectly clean, it still didn't work that great all the time. I found when I use this lubricant, I don't know what the hell is going on here exactly, why it's doing that. Maybe the lubricant does have a slight amount of electrical conductivity on a microscopic scale that is actually causing a better contact between the contact point of, say, your USB and where it's going into the computer, or the SD card, or where it's going into the computer, or where this is being plugged into the camera or whatever. But it's kind of a worthwhile dirt cheap trick, and it seems like it works really good. So pretty much now all the time as a maintenance thing, I'll take a little Q-tip and spray a little bit on this, on a Q-tip, and go over these. And even sometimes, like, I'll spray it on an angle, sometimes once in a while, and where it gets in there, Not that I douse this with and get it all soaked and everything, but just a slight amount, just a real slight amount. And plug it in a few times, and it seems like everything works good, and it seems like they recognize it much quicker. You'll see it go, bing, there it is. So sometimes when you see this USB device not recognized, device not recognized, device not working, it's a matter of dirt. And yeah, you're thinking, well, okay, electromotive cleaner, use a little emery, blow it out with air. Well, it seems like this is the thing. Actually, what I found is using electronic cleaner first, blowing it out with air, and then using that is the best setup. Just using this sometimes works all the time, but the best setup is to use electronic cleaner first, blow it out with air, get the main crap out of there, then whatever's residual, get a little of this on there, and then when you plug it in a bunch of times, it wears off wherever the corrosion is or dirt, and it makes a really solid contact. And again, like, even where it looks like there's absolutely no dirt on it, somehow the microscopic film of this lubricant or WD-40 seems to make a stronger electric contact, like a bond, where I don't know why it's doing that exactly, but I'm just finding out that's what's going on. It's what's working in the practical world, and I'm assuming that a lot of stuff I probably threw away in the past was probably still good. And even though you might find that a device does not work on 3 or 4 or 5 different computers, it still might be good. It could be the damn dirt. It could be the damn dirt that's in there that you're not getting off, even though, and this is the trick, man. Spray a little bit of that on there, plug it in there a bunch of times, and it's best to spray the electronic cleaner on there first, blow it out with air, then use a little bit of this and plug it in there a few times. And of course, if that don't work, maybe you gotta delete the device in your system manager or whatever the hell it is, device manager, or delete the USB port in his computer software, let it re-recognize. But usually it's dirt, man. Usually it's dirt. It's so simple, man. I can't believe this. I missed this crap. And it's like a lot of stuff I do with working on cars relates to computers, and even like mathematics relates to computers. They're all interrelated. It's kind of weird how and it's kind of good to have a head that's, good at several areas, because sometimes other areas that you think aren't related to something do help. You'll find some stupid little trick that'll work, and this is a really good, simple little trick that works.